Welcome to Made Fit TV. I'm your host, Jennifer DiDonato, and this is episode number 38, so thanks so much. And yay, we're in the kitchen today. We're doing a recipe. And, get a lot of feedback from the recipes. I love to modify things. I find recipes, I'm like, you know what, I can make that a little healthier. So that's what I try to do. But just in case you didn't know, Made Fit TV is everyone's source for health and fitness information and entertainment. So today we are going to be making Cranberry Almond Granola bars, homemade guys, and of course I'm going to incorporate protein in it. Come on, can't live without it. So let's get started, all right? These are really good for meal replacements and for breakfast time. So if you're having 2 a day, I mean that kills right there a couple meals, saves you a fefew bucks. You can take it on the go. Perfect for you. All right, so let's get started. We're going to first start with the eggs. We're using 3 egg whites, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix. Oh, here, I'm going to show you that first. We're making these, so stick around, and I'm going to show you how to make them. We're going to start with the wet ingredients first. We're going to use 3 egg whites, and you can crack these obviously into a separate bowl if you want, if you're not too confident in your egg white separation techniques. Sometimes I screw up and I get a little bit of shell in there when I'm making my egg whites in the morning. That's all right. I accidentally bought regular applesauce. I usually like to get the no sugar added applesauce, but we're using 1/4 cup, and 1/4 cup will only have 9 grams of sugar in it. So it's not that bad at all with that. If you end up not being able to find sugar-free or no sugar added applesauce, regular should be fine. So we're just using 1/4 cup right there. Next thing we're going to do for a little bit of sweet is we're going to add 1/4 cup of honey. That's going to give it the sweetness of it. And honey is typically, one of the better sugars, if anything. Typically you don't want to have too much sugar in your diet or your daily, everyday nutrition. But if you do, honey is a good one. And to make up for the sweet, I'm also going to incorporate some cooking Splenda. So now we're going to add just a splash of skim milk, just to give it a little bit of wetness when we kind of mix all the dry ingredients together. This is just about 1/8 cup. And then our last wet ingredient will be 1 teaspoon of just vanilla extract. You can get it anywhere. Kind of add that in there. So now we're just going to blend this all together first, and then I'm going to show you the dry ingredients. So this will just take, you can mix it on medium. All right. Okay, now on to the dry ingredients. All right, we're just going to do 3/4 cup of protein. And the scoops that come in it are 1/4 cup, so I'm going to put 3 in here. Next thing we got are the oats. Now you can either use the old-fashioned oats, you can use quick oats. I like to use just the old-fashioned 100% grain ones because they're the full oats. The quick oats tend to be a little bit smaller, they're chopped up. I like to use these because they're a little bit heartier and just kind of, give those granola that chewiness. So we got that in there. Now let's add the Splenda. We're gonna add 1/4 cup of Splenda. And of course, this is sticky, but oh well. So add 1/4 cup of Splenda right in there. Mix that in. Now what I did is I bought just sliced almonds. You can get them anywhere at the grocery store. But what I did is I just used 1/2 cup of the almonds, placed them out on a cutting board, and just wanted to cut them up a little bit because, unless you want the bigger pieces in the granola, but with this one I kind of want them just dispersed throughout the recipes. Now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add the cranberries. Cranberries are so good because that is what adds to the chewiness of it. And we're going to do 1/2 cup of cranberries. And these you can find anywhere. Dried cranberries, just very, very healthy for you. So when you're picking your dried fruits, you could use any dried fruits if you like. You can use maybe raisins, but raisins are a little bit higher in sugar. But cranberries, they're heart healthy, got great antioxidants in it. All right, mixing that in. Now time for the wet ingredients. Just kind of pour that in right there. Kind of get it all around the rim. Pour it in. Okay. Now this part takes a little bit of elbow grease, so what we're going to do is just take a couple minutes just to mix it in, As you can see, it's mixing together. I smell it. It smells so good. Well, hey, we got a little bit of TV magic going on over here. What happened to all the ingredients? I just want to clear it out because it was getting a little cluttered. But right now, all right, it took me about 2-3 minutes just to kind of mix this, get it a good mix. Okay, so now that we have that ready, I want you to take a cookie sheet. And it can be any size because it doesn't necessarily have to cover the entire cookie sheet. As you'll see when I pour it in here, mine won't. But I just want to take you, have you take some Pam. You know, no Crisco, no butter, just lightly spray it. I already sprayed it earlier. And then you're going to need some wax paper because what we're going to do is we're going to pile it on here right now. And the Pam just helps it from sticking. We don't want it sticking on there. So I'm just going to kind of glob it on right in the center. It smells so good. If you're making this with me right now, or if you're going to be making this, you are going to be really tempted to just dive into this. I'm not even joking, just eating it raw because, but I don't want you to do that because it's got, you know, kind of raw eggs in it. So I want you to evenly press it. So press it from the center and kind of move on out because you're going to see that some areas might chunk up a little bit more than others. And what we want to do is, what we're going for is to get equal distribution. Okay, take the wax paper, place it right on there, and just kind of work it in. Spread out a little bit more. This is just going to help keep it even. So you're going to spread it out, but what I want to do though is I want to make sure that I'm making this a nice kind of rectangle. So after I evenly spread it out, I'm going to take my spatula and just kind of clean up the edges. So just go ahead and peel that off. Just take a moment to clean up the edges. So stand by. Okay, great. Perfect. So now we have a nice square. Ooh, it's heavy. It's heavy. Give me a workout. Woo! All right. So good. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to place this into the oven. You're going to preheat at 350. Just take about 10 minutes to preheat. Stick it right in the top rack. And depending on your oven, we're going to set it for anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes. So I'm going to set it for 15 minutes. And this is typically how long it'll take. But what you want to look for is make sure that it gets golden brown at the top. Golden brown, and then you know, okay, they're done. So we're just going to hold off for 15 minutes. Check back with me then, and we'll see if we got to keep them in for longer. All right, guys, they just came out of the oven a couple of minutes ago, like a minute ago. 15 minutes is all it took. Look at how nice and golden brown they are. So what I'm doing is just cutting them up. Cut them into about 18 bars, give or take, depending on how much you spread out the mix onto the cookie sheet. But I mean, take a look at this. I mean, the consistency is just, it's something great that you can have, you know, bring in the car with you. I mean, take a look at that. Bring it in the car. See, they're not crunchy, but they're chewy. But just make sure that when after you let these cool, let them cool for about a half hour, put them in airtight Ziploc bags and stick them in the fridge because I don't want it growing any mold on you in the fridge, but they or in the cabinet. But they should at least last you a good week. You know, you can have like 2 a day for a good meal, snack, 137 calories per bar, just 3 grams of fat, 21 carbs, 10.5 sugars, and 7.5 grams of protein. So this is a good, well-rounded either breakfast or snack meal replacement that you can have on the go. So guys, I really, really appreciate it, and I'm glad that you were able to check it out. Go on MadeFitTV.com. I have all the nutrition facts and all of the recipe information on my website. You can even subscribe to all these videos at MadeFitTV.com. Just put in your email address and email me at Ask Jenny. Email me with any questions or comments. I've been getting a lot. Just want to thank you guys for it because I know that you're all looking for an easier way to incorporate health and fitness and healthy nutrition in your life. And I've got it. I'm the place. Come on. So thanks so much. Find me on Twitter at Jane DiDonato, Facebook, Jennifer DiDonato. We're on iTunes. Subscribe. MadeFitTV is the keyword there, and also on Vidler and YouTube as well. So thanks so much, guys. And remember, fit bodies don't just happen. They're made, and we're going to make them. So meanwhile, I'm going to enjoy my granola bars.